This incident started today at about 6:30 p.m. The address is 1110 Bridle Path Drive. It's in unincorporated Lawrenceville. Came in as a 911 call, and there was a report of 2 juveniles being what they considered to be dead at that point. Another one injured, and an adult male that had also been injured. At this point, we're still not clear if it was in fact gunshots or stabbing, but at this time we do have 2 deceased. One of those is approximately a 1-year-old male, deceased due to injury, violent injury, and a 4-year-old male with injuries of the same nature. A second 4-year-old male has been transported by Life Flight helicopter to a children's hospital in Atlanta, and the adult male has been transported by ambulance to a local hospital. All 4 are members of the same family, with the adult male being either the father or the stepfather of the children. At this point, detectives are investigating. They're running down leads. They don't have any specific suspect information at this point that they wish to release. Now, if any of that becomes available later tonight, or of course if they need the public's help in locating a suspect, I'll put that information out immediately.
Jake, any concerns about a suspect still on the loose tonight?
Well, the suspect, we don't believe we have apprehended him here, so there is a suspect somewhere. We just don't have much more information to at least to disseminate at this point. Now, the detectives, a large team of detectives, in fact, are working this case.
You have an idea of who the suspect might be?
I don't personally have any idea, and the detectives aren't willing to release any information if they do at this point.
Is there any concern for the neighborhood, and why or why not? You can look at the cameras.
Sure. No further concern at this point. When the officers respond to a scene like this, the first priority, of course, is to secure any victims in the scene itself, and then they widen the search. Earlier tonight, the helicopter was here, and there were many more officers here, and they did a pretty expansive and extensive search of this neighborhood.
But they don't think the suspect's here anymore?
Correct.
Do you believe that the victims knew the suspect in this case?
We don't have an indication, or at least I have not been given one by investigators, one way or the other. If it was a family friend, or if it was a complete stranger-on-stranger incident, we don't know.
Targeted.
Can you talk about the circumstances of this incident and where these kids were found, and exactly what you can tell us about?
I can't get into too many specifics. I believe the house is a split level with 2 families living in it. Not a split level, but one family that lives up above and the other one in the finished basement. And the family that was attacked here lives in the finished basement, and that's where they were located.
We had heard from neighbors that perhaps father ran out to get help. Can you confirm that?
I believe he did run out of the house, and I believe it was him that made the 911 call. I think that's accurate.
And mom, did she live there too?
Yes, she and the other family members. I'm not sure how many siblings there were. There were initially some people unaccounted for. Everybody has been accounted for. And outside of the people that I listed earlier, everybody else is okay.
And they were home at the time?
They were not.
Was the family who lives upstairs, was anyone home?
I don't believe they were. I don't think so.
I know you're not talking about suspects, but what about any possible motives? Are we talking robbery here? I mean, what can you give us any indication of why this may have happened?
At this point, it'd be speculation, and I can't say at this point.
Do you believe that this family was targeted from what you've seen?
Again, at this point, I can't say, just because we don't know the nature of the crime just yet. But I can't say yet.
You don't think, though, that any other family in this neighborhood is in danger? So
at this point, we don't have any reason to believe they are. Now, we, of course, encourage anybody that lives in this area that sees anything suspicious to come forward. But at this point, we're not going door to door and checking houses or anything like that. The officers did search, and the helicopter looked also. And we haven't found anything to indicate that anybody else around here is in any kind of danger.
Any idea how this suspect got inside the house?
Not at this point. I'm sure the detectives are aware. The crime scene unit is also over there processing, but I'm not sure how they got in.
And confirm the ages again for us.
Sure. The youngest deceased victim is approximately 1-year-old male. The second deceased victim is approximately 4 years old male also. And the critical child who was flown by helicopter, also 4 years old. And the adult male, I won't tell you the age on that because I'm not sure. I believe he's in his late 20s, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
can you talk about the 4-year-old that is in critical condition, kind of what the injuries are and what his outlook is?
I don't have information on that. The fire department might be able to tell you more. In a situation like this, they're hesitant to release information on the victims just in case the suspect is paying attention.
And we don't know exactly where he is.
Correct.
Do you know anything about an off-duty police officer who regularly patrols this neighborhood, and perhaps this happened after they left today?
I do not. I'm not familiar with any off-duty officers in the area. It's possible. There are several neighborhoods in Gwinnett that employ an off-duty officer on a part-time basis to do some patrol, but I'm not familiar with any of that specifically.
And you said the adult victim is either a dad or a stepdad?
Yeah, he's a family member. I believe he's either the father or the stepfather. I'm not sure which of those two.
And we don't know if he's the father of the children, or we do?
I believe that he is either the father or the stepfather of the victims, and also a victim himself.
But all
We don't
the
know if he's the children's father. We don't know that.
Like biologically?
Yeah,
right, correct. I don't have that specific information.
are all the children related?
Yeah, that's my understanding, is that they are.
So the 4-year-olds are twins, I presume?
Presumably, but I'm not 100% certain about that either.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.